recording because Dasher app suddenly stops working. Again, I'm getting orders on the text, but not in, well, there's nothing for a while. Then I'll get an order on the text, but it won't come through the Dasher app. Mr. Perry's caused my camera phone to die tonight, and again, he's going to starve me into a lie, which means I'm telling the truth or he wouldn't do that. So, here we go again. Got to do another podcast. Everything's a thing. Everything's a problem. And you can't figure out why nobody likes him. And he can't get his line. He can't get a date. He can't get anything. 13 years, he's all by himself. Getting told on and told on and told on. Does the same thing. Day after day after day after day. Gets the same results. So he once called my ex-husband. Don't give her any money. I'm going to crash her app so she can't make money. We want her under a bridge until she tells us who's helping us. Who's helping her. Right? Duly noted for the record, Mr. Perry. That's your plan. And that's why you don't have a date. No woman's throwing herself at you. And you can't figure out why you keep getting caught. And so you do what you do, princess. We'll make do. I'll sleep under a bridge, but I'm not going to do what you want me to do. You want to put me under a bridge and I go, well, I did tell everybody he's trying to starve me into a lie, which means, we've already had a reporter say that. He wouldn't try to make her starve into a lie. I mean, they killed Chief Miller. He wouldn't be harassing her like this and doing all this stuff to her. This is evidence of coercion and witness tampering. So if there was nothing to what she had to say, he wouldn't do all that, would he? So now we got an order. Let's see if it's worth a shit. Yep, that's a good one. So we'll sign off for now. We're going to keep monitoring the money. Okay, nope. They're digging already because you already caused me problems tonight. All right, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It's the 25th of June, Saturday, 2022. And so what happens is we get a threat from Mr. Perry. Like, I'm going to starve you into a lie because you're telling the truth, and I don't like the truth. The truth is exposing my crime. So we always ask him, how many times was your crime caught before you met me and did it to me, and how many times after? Can you still add and subtract? I don't think he can. I really don't. We think he's, so we hear he's got Huntington's disease. This is the Charles Perry Stalker podcast, by the way. No one in their right mind is going to stalk somebody, right? I mean, everybody else, we all have been rejected a time or two in our lives, and we just move on. We just go find somebody else that we get along better with or that likes us back. There's people that don't like you back. You might think they're beautiful, smart, and you like them, but the thing is, they don't like you back. They don't feel that way about you, and that's the case here, supposedly. I don't think Mr. Perry's hot and sexy. I don't think he's interesting. I don't think he's intelligent. I have zero interest romantically in him. He disgusts me. He's the most weird, creepy, pathetic bitch I've ever met in my life, and very, very cruel, very abusive and cruel. I mean, our shrink is like, she says she likes men that work hard. He won't work. He bothers her all day. She says she doesn't like being, you gotta wine and dine me first, then I'll decide if I like you. I've been out with a lot of men. I mean, I was married for 10 years. Here's the deal. I don't go out with a guy that doesn't wine me and dine me first. That's just the way it is. And then I decide if I like him. That's my thing. That's the way, there's certain things that I'm looking for in a person that I want to be close to in that way. So that's part of that. I don't have to explain it, do I? I don't think I have to explain it. So, Mr. Perry, she says, she's told everybody, here's what I like in men, here's what I don't like, here's what's a turnoff. He does everything she doesn't like, and they can't figure out why she doesn't like him. What do we even say to that? What do we even say it about? So, the conclusion that we've come to, based on the way he acts, doesn't act like a man who's trying to get a date. He acts like someone who's trying to get a lie, a criminal who keeps getting caught, and he wants a cover-up. He doesn't have that either. He's not been told on or caught this much in his entire life. You know how I know that? Because I have a lot of cops from somewhere else helping me that brought me in to get him elected so they could get closer to him. They could dig deeper. And it's working. I mean, it's working brilliantly, in my opinion. When you have somebody that's trying to starve a witness into a lie, it doesn't get more pathetic than that. So if you can see the video that I just did, what I'm trying to show, remember, it's a Saturday night. There should be orders coming in one after the other. There's certain times that are busy. Dinner time, there's orders that come in one right after the other. You don't have to wait. You don't have to sit there and wait like that. By time I get frustrated enough to start recording, I've been waiting already for a while. So when I hit the record button and then all of a sudden you see activity and you go, well, she didn't have to wait that long. Well, keep in mind though, I've already waited a while. Now I'm pissed. So I hit the recorder. So I'm recording and I'm like, okay, I'm recording this now because this has gone on forever. Nothing's popping up. Something he's at it again. Do remember also I said on that podcast just a second ago, or on the recording of the Dasher app, I said I'm getting orders come through my text but not through the app. You can't accept the order if it doesn't come through the app. So you can see that right here where it says you don't appear to be heading towards your order. Like my app was just stopped working, so I didn't know where to go. And then there was another one. There was 2 or 3 that came through. I'm trying to see which one it was. I don't know. It came through on the text, but it didn't come through the app. So the app just wasn't working. And it should have been showing up on here, but he probably deleted it knowing I was going to do this. Hold on. Okay, this order here was weird. So they're trying to get me fired. What happens is if you drop off dinner to their order at their house and you don't take a picture of it, they can complain, I didn't get my order. You can hand it to them and they can lie and complain, we didn't get our order. They did that to me twice. So I've gotten very diligent about taking pictures. All of a sudden, I dropped this order off and my app crashes. My camera app crashes. The DoorDash app wouldn't work. I mean, they did not want me to take a picture of this order. So I had to grab a different camera and take the picture. The lady was standing kind of outside and started screaming at me, telling me to stop taking pictures. And I'm like, oh, that's not a clue that this is Perry's person. If you get the complaints to DoorDash, you didn't leave the order because the customer lied and you got a hacker trying to get you fired who had that customer call. That's his person. And all of a sudden my camera stops working and my Dasher app won't work. Doesn't take a Sherlock Holmes to figure out why that is. You're trying to get me fired. I'm going to get you fired. I'm going to starve you into a lie. Ooh, I'm a tough guy beating down women. I'm like, wow, okay. And not only that, but I'm like, here's the thing. Look at it logically, fucktard. For 13 years, you've never had a date with me, ever. I don't hold your hand. I don't want to be with you. I've moved twice to try to get away from you. And when you do this shit to me, what happens? What happens when you do it to me? Does something good come from that? Or do you just we start getting all kinds of shit coming in on you. My guys start digging. They get mad. They get pissed off. And so you're getting told on. You're asking me, how did you find that out? How did she know that? How did she find out about that? People are ratting you out because everybody gets sick and tired of this. That's what you're getting out of this when you do shit like that to me. So we know that you've done this all your life and hid it. That's why I moved to Lubbock. Because somebody needed to catch it and stop it. There's a group of us that are very, very smart. We're very, very good at what we do. And that's why in your life you've not been caught this much. There's no date. You're not Bill Clinton. You're not John Ensign. You can't get a date. You can't get a woman that actually wants to be with you. You're not getting laid out of this. What are you getting? What are you getting, fucktard? You feel tough guy when you jam up my apps and take my money? When you pick on women? Part of domestic violence is economic abuse. Are you that pathetic that after you've been caught so much, nobody else has a Fabian puzzle or a McNamara email or a Mike was drugged email and all of that goes back to a recording somewhere. You don't know which police have it. You've called. You guys have offered money. If it's you and you have these actual recordings that she's typed up in an email before we do it, I need to buy them, and you can't get anybody to help you out on that. Nobody will tell you who it is. You're not getting any information, but we are. You have leaks, and we do not have leaks. And you can't look at that and go, wow, this is a major fail. Because we're really good at what we do, Mr. Perry, and you're not. And he's typing in my phone, I can't stop. I can see you. I can't stop. I can't stop. And I'm like, it gets wackier by the day. By the fucking day, it gets worse and worse. More wacky, more mental, more crazy, more this doesn't even make sense. Not even for you. He does everything she hates, Your Honor. And then he can't figure out why she doesn't like him. It's not hot. That's not sexy. You're just a monster, sir. You're just a cruel monster. And normal people don't like that. They don't like it. They don't like human suffering. We've been over this. Everybody responds when you see a tragedy on the news. Everybody responds and goes, how can I help? How can I ease your suffering? That's normal people. That's how they act. That's how we all act. We all have empathy. We all care about when someone else is suffering. And you just enjoy causing it. And we do not understand that. Normal people do not understand what in the fuck could be wrong with a man that wants to cause suffering. What is wrong with you? Why do you do the same thing every fucking day? And you're like a dog returning to his vomit. And you eat it, and you're grossing us out, and it's like we have to sit there and watch that, and we're about to barf. And you act like you think it's cool. But the thing is no one wants to be with you on a date. No one's helping you with information. We're all sick and tired of hearing you talk. You've been told to shut up and go away. Nobody asked you what you think. We're not going to help you with information. No one's helping you. You're not getting answers as to who these guys are helping me. How all this semantics works. How they get information from you to them. Nobody knows. You're not getting any answers, and you're waving money around, and you guys are making threats and bullying and pissing everybody off, and all of a sudden things changed. All of a sudden everything's different, right? Charles, you are a criminal. You don't get to. I'm sorry, but you're not entitled to commit a crime. You know, I know you think you are. We don't know why you think that, sir. Kind of like when you keep trying to talk to me. Why do you think I care what you think? Like, why do you think that? No one understands why in the hell you think that. I've made it pretty fucking clear I don't. I really don't give a fuck what you think. We're all sick of hearing it. We're all sick of you. We're all sick of the problems. We're all sick of one thing after another. So imagine you just want to go to work. You just want to go to work. And you got to deal with that. So remember the night that I said, my guys were like, I know you got a Verizon bill due in like a day or two here, and you want to go work and make money so you can pay that. The thing is, it's already on a pay agreement, which that's made us mad that you should have to do that. Here's the thing, Mr. Perry. These guys work with me. They know how I am. They know I make money. So when I'm broke, they start digging into what is Charles Perry and David Robertson and that crew of weird guys, what are they doing to make her broke? Because we know it's not her. We know that. If I don't get a job or I get fired, that's exactly what they start. Yeah, we're going to dig to find out why that is, because we know it's not her. We work with her. We work with her every day. We called her into this deal for a reason. So what are they doing to cause it? It's going to be a crime. We know that. Because normal people just leave each other alone. Normal dudes, you get rejected, they can move on. What about your son? What would your son do? What would your son do if he could see everything you do? Yeah. What would you do if your son acted like you? See, all of a sudden it's different, isn't it? If it's somebody else, it's inappropriate. If it's you, it's all, oh, you're supposed to give me a pass. I don't think so. I think everybody's sick of you. I think everybody's sick and tired of you. Remember I told you people don't say to your face what they say behind your back? Everybody's sick of you, sir. They're sick of the hardships that you're causing. They're sick of the suffering that you're causing. They're sick of the drama. Soap opera drama queen. We got to deal with that again. Instead, the guy won't get up and get off his ass and go fucking work and attract women. Women are attracted to men who work, not peeping toms. Peeping tom is a crime for a reason, sir. Stalking is a crime for a reason. Nobody likes that. Stealing, grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. So, back to the story. My guy says, everybody's exhausted. Everybody is very frustrated because we are like very much to be able to make arrests right now, and we're not quite ready for that yet. So everybody's angry, in a bad mood, tired. So I need them to go home because when you work, I have to call guys in. We have people all over them. We got people all over you. We're watching every little thing that happens. So they're all tired. They're gonna do this to you tonight, frustrate the fuck out of you. You're not gonna make any money. And so just stay home and let the contract go, and we'll charge them. They've already talked about it all damn day. We've heard them talking about it. They're gonna frustrate the fuck out of you, and you're not gonna make any money. And we're gonna call guys in who are already tired, already pissed off, already angry, already out of patience. And so let it go. So we did. That's what we did. So they'll charge you with that one, the Verizon one. You asked for it. That's what you want, right? Because if you didn't like what was happening, you'd stop, wouldn't you? So there's that. We know that everybody that calls me, that, you know, here's the thing. When you get a Dasher order, then you can decline it or accept it. You decline it if it's not enough money. If you're going to drive 14 miles and they want to pay you $5, right? So they have you don't see where you're going. You don't know where you're fucking going. All you know is how far is it going to be. I don't go outside the hot zone. I don't, cause I'm not very far. Cause now you're looking at, you got to drive all the way back into the hot zone to get the next order. You're trying to maximize your profits. You try to be intelligent about the way you do it. We've showed the videos, the YouTube videos. People have to show you how to make money at DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. I've signed up for all three. And one fourth one, I'm not going to talk about it. Because Mr. Perry has so obsessed about using DoorDash to hack it and have his people call in and magically get me as the driver. See, it's supposed to be algorithm. My guys have talked to DoorDash, Mr. Perry. It's drivers are chosen on algorithm. So if we get your people, you hacked it, they said. That's not us, that's them. So that means if you come out with a picture that you had a buddy call in with his doorbell camera or his reflective door, you guys seem to love, and they have a picture of me delivering food, that was illegally obtained. That was obtained through hacking. So for the record, there's that. So because I'm telling, I mean, my guys are listening to y'all talk. They know you want me to go to Chipotle. Why won't she go to Chipotle? We got people want to order from Chipotle. Why won't she go there? Because you guys do that. That's why. If you want to just go to work and just feed yourself and pay your bills and shit, and you got to deal with this, can you imagine? It's not fun. It's miserable. So, Mr. Perry, when you get told on, that's because everybody wants you gone. And then you can't put me through this anymore. The nightmare ends. You're gone. So are the problems. So is the hacking. So is the peeping Tom bullshit that you're shoving down all of our throats until we're barfing and gagging on it. Your delusion. So, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try this again. If I fail at this, I'm gonna do my. Here's a little disclaimer. I am not a special education teacher. I am not a nurse. I don't have puppets and crayons or finger paints for you. If you're doing something illegal, that means people don't like it when you do that. That's why they made it illegal. In a civilized society, we call your conduct deviant and offensive. And it's not just deviant and offensive, it's deviant, criminal, deviant and offensive. Because at one time, people called gay people deviant. Now they don't. Everything changes, things progress, whatever. So that's what I mean. There's deviant. You might call it deviant, but it's not illegal to be gay. So I'm using the comparison of just deviant. I don't think it's deviant. Most of society doesn't think it's deviant. Now, you might. I don't know. So, but some would call it deviant, but not criminal deviant. See what I'm saying? You're criminal deviant. Stalking is a felony in Oklahoma. You're not wanted. You're not loved. I won't talk to you. There's never been a real date. There's not been shit. I won't even touch you. I won't even touch you. I made it clear you get anywhere near me, you're not getting a hug fest. I'll kick the fuck out of you. Wear a football helmet. Because I'm not gonna let you touch me, and I'm not gonna wait to see what kind of weapon you have. Syringe or chloroform rag or whatever you use to kidnap women to put them in that basement of yours. Also, excuse me, stalking is a crime. Peeping Tom is a crime. Hacking is a crime. Domestic violence and economic abuse, all that's crime, sir. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce is a crime. Interference with contracts in commerce might be civil and not criminal until you use it to coerce. You think you're going to make me starve and then I'll call you and then do what? What do you think's going to happen if I call you? See, nothing. I won't call you. Nothing's going to happen. If you come anywhere near me, I'm not going to let you get your chloroform rag out or your syringe and throw me in the basement with all your other victims. I'll beat the hell out of you. You better wear a football helmet. There's not going to be a date, ever. You're weirdo. You're not my kind. I like men who are giving and kind and normal dudes. Speaking of which, so this woman, I'm just telling everybody now, your guy, she works for you. We know that. Everybody, all my guys know who she is. I dropped the food off. I tried to take a picture. All of a sudden, my camera that's been working perfectly all this time crashes. I have to get another camera. When I get the other camera, she starts screaming at me, "Don't take another picture. Don't take a picture. What are you doing?" And I'm like, wow. And I'm telling her, explaining what I'm doing. She says, I do DoorDash too. So then you know the importance of taking the photo to show you brought the food, correct? When I said that, she finally backed off a little bit. But there was some great effort to not let me take a picture of this one. I don't like the hospital. We know everybody that orders from the hospital is your people. St. Francis, right? Isn't that your those are your folks? Right? So, golly, I mean, imagine you got to go to work and you got to deal with all that. And you can't just go work. Just go have a normal day at work, right? You got to deal with that bullshit. So when we all want you gone, when you start getting told on all the time, we know that that's going to lead to you're gone. And you take all that with you, and we don't have to deal with it ever again. Mr. Perry, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Powell, Mr. Burson. Also, on a different note completely, I had a very, very negative interaction with an individual that I'm not sure. No, I'm sure now. I wasn't sure at the time whether he's a rent-a-cop or a cop. I believe he's a I believed at the time. I know now what he is. At the time, I wasn't sure if I'm talking to a police officer or a rent-a-cop. And the man was fucking acted like I just robbed a bank. So, all I'm going to say, TPD, is there's 100 bad things that could come from rent-a-cops dressing and looking like Tulsa police and not being a Tulsa police officer. So, I'm not going to explain to you why I think that is the worst idea ever. I can tell you that the situation that I was in made me very uncomfortable. It made me extremely uncomfortable. And I'm talking to this individual knowing he's whacked. I mean, the guy was fucking whack job. My immediate, because of the way he was acting towards me, my immediate thought was, this fucker's a rent-a-cop. Jeez, I mean, what the hell's wrong with you? So you have people who may not be stable and couldn't get on with the police department walking around in a damn rent-a-cop something uniform, and it's hard to tell at first, are you talking to a cop or are you talking to a security person, a rent-a-cop? So if I'm you, because of the reflection on your police department and the reactions that you might get from somebody who's crazy and armed. I'm not crazy or armed. I don't, I'm mentally stable. I handled the situation kind of actually just, a lot of times when somebody goes at me like that, when I'm talking to that person, I try to be as dismissive as possible. Kind of like, I'm not going to dignify your little fit here with a response. I worked in a strip club for 6 years and didn't have a fight. So that's how I do that. And a lot of those girls were high as a kite. They didn't know what the hell they were saying. I had 2 or 3 of them try to threaten to beat me up because, no reason. They're high. They didn't know what the hell they're saying. And they didn't even remember the incident the next day. Didn't remember what the hell happened. So I did that 6 years. So you have to learn in that situation to be able to diffuse a situation very quickly. You got a person on drugs. They don't know what the hell they're doing, and all of a sudden they're threatening to hit you. So I had to diffuse that situation very quickly on more than one occasion, and not have a thing. I'm not having a thing. I'm not doing it. So today I basically kind of did the same thing. Just like, wow, I can't even believe the words coming out of your mouth. I don't know what you're on. You're on crack, or what are you on? So if I was like not me, and not mentally stable, not strong, not able to handle, somebody like that and be dismissive about it, and just, I'm not going to fight with you. I don't know what you got up your ass today, but I'm not going to dignify what you're doing with a response. That doesn't mean I don't rant at my guys later. Believe me, I do. But I'm not going to do it right there, right then. So you get somebody who's armed and not, a little, iffy, that could be dangerous when they go up and you're not sure that, you don't know, am I talking to a cop? Am I talking to a rent-a-cop? What am I talking to here? And it took me a minute to kind of figure out what this guy was. And my guys made a few phone calls even, because this guy was way off the rails, out of hand. The way that he treated me was out of line, big time out of line. So I'm just saying, TPD, if you guys listen to these, I would think long and hard about communicating with non-law enforcement personnel who are in security about dressing like you dress. I feel like it's dangerous for everybody. I feel like it's a situation that could turn weird. Today it did. I think that you need to maybe have some communications with these people, how to make sure they're wearing something to differentiate themselves from you, because there's you're smart. You put together why I feel that way. I don't think it's appropriate for a rent-a-cop to dress like a cop. I'm sorry, I just don't. I think the rent-a-cop needs to look like a rent-a-cop, and the cop needs to look like the cop. So I know what the difference. I don't feel like I'm, you got impersonating a police officer very nearly. The man I saw today was not a cop. He looked like one, and he the way he was dressed, very nearly impersonating a police officer. It was that close in uniform. So I would suggest strongly and urge strongly that you guys have talks with these companies that do that. And because we're talking about, we got people working there that didn't pass the cop test. They didn't pass it. They may not have passed the psychological exam. You have to take a psychological exam to be a police officer. They may not have passed that. Do you really want them walking around town dressed like you? I don't. I'm a citizen. I'm not comfortable with that. And that the guy today made me wildly uncomfortable. It was weird. It was a weird interaction. So the do you want all the guys that failed the police exams to put on some clothing that looks just like you and walk around town? I'm not comfortable as a citizen at all with that. Okay, so we've established the fact Mr. Perry's hacked my app, and then it won't work right half the time, or I get orders I can't make any money on. And I'll spend a lot of time. The other night I worked 5 hours and I came home with $9. And that's pathetic, because he's trying to starve me into a lie. So I want you to not be able to eat. I want you to sleep under a bridge until you lie for me. And he makes it very clear that is his intent, that is his goal, and he's going to try to accomplish that goal. And then I'm going to go, well, I did tell you so beforehand. I did say, I've shown everybody over and over and over, the recordings of him. I'm going to force her back to Texas so we can do more to her, to hurt her. More crime. We want to do more crime to her because we feel like we'll get away with more in Texas. That's been duly noted for the record in our case. Also, there was another conversation my guys get today of you grilling somebody about whether or not the guy's dated me. Okay, here's a couple things with that. If it's who I think it is, he has not. He's just a friend. We've not dated. He's more. He definitely has a better chance of going on a date with me than Perry would ever have. Second of all, it's none of your business. It's just simply not your business. We're not a couple, Mr. Perry. You're not my boyfriend. I'm not in love with you. There's nothing romantic for me at all. Nothing. You disgust me and you're a job. I'll be paid when you get your nose out of my bank account. When you're in jail and you can no longer get in my, hack my apps and get up in my bank accounts and all that shit, I'll get paid then. Because here's the thing, it's a need to know. They don't want you to know who they are. They can do a whole lot of shit nobody else can do if no one knows who they are. They've talked to you more than once, and you didn't know that's who you were talking to. So that works in our favor, that we can maintain anonymity like that. Plus, we have a dead Lucky and an almost dead framed Mike. We have a dead police chief because you knew he was about to charge you with something, and you didn't like that, so you murdered him. By the way, the reporter said, we can tell she's telling the truth. She's right. They killed that chief. They're doing everything she says. You know why we know? She's rogue and Mike's in jail. They're coercing. Perry throws his little fit like a 2-year-old little stumps his little feet and throws a fit. Literally, Mr. Perry, people comment that you act like you know, you're a spoiled, rotten little brat, didn't get your way. Not a dignitary. You're not impressing people as a dignitary. You're making people want to barf because you can't behave and act your age. You think everybody owes you something, and nobody owes you a fucking thing. You're all welfare, Now, welfare is good for people that need it, but there is that group of people that feel entitled. Everybody owes me something. Mom didn't breastfeed me, so give me, I'm going to take. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. It's my mommy. Yeah, tell your mommy, because we don't care to hear it. We don't care. So, nobody's gotten more information than we have, and we're good at what we do. I asked the question last night. I'm getting texts from Mr. Perry's guys. Mr. Roberson's texting me, yeah, I poisoned you with arsenic. Let your life fade away. Let us kill you. Just let us do it. And Mickey James, maybe it's worth the risk of Mr. Perry to kill you and have the speculation we saw with Gary Condit and Chandra Levy. By the way, Gary Condit had real sex too, by the way. Bill Clinton had real sex. John Ensign had real sex. And you have nothing like that. 13 years, nothing at all. No, not even not hand holding, not nothing. No date, no reciprocation, nothing. You're just rejected. And the more you try to punish me or hurt me or do something to me illegal, the more we get. You're like the gift that keeps on giving. And he's typing in my phone, I can't stop. I'm going to starve you into a lie. I can't stop. I'm like, wow, okay. But we did say you're a criminal with low IQ and no impulse control. So, I guess that supports that, doesn't it? Right? No one else has a McNamara email. Nobody else has a Mike was drugged email. Nobody else has anything I have. So, did you hire stupid people, stupid hitmen that just text stuff like that, or am I that good at what I do? See, this is illegal, Mr. Perry. You need a lawyer that can read. Clearly, yours can't. You see that, Peeping Tom? See, you can't get a real date. You're like a little girl, sitting around watching TV, playing with your dolly, not acting like a dignitary, watching TV, pretending. Little girls watch Frozen, pretend. Yeah, what's the difference between you and that? You're not a dignitary. You're pathetic. It is illegal to peep on a woman and watch her in the privacy of her home in the state of Oklahoma. It is in all 50 states, actually, sir. It's weirdo. It's so fucked up and weirdo. You're not a dignitary. You're just pathetic. You can't get a real date to save your life. Not with anybody. For sure not with me. And you sure shit don't get it starving a woman to death. And don't go around going, why doesn't she like me? Why doesn't she like me? Mr. Perry does everything she hates, Your Honor, and then he can't figure out why she doesn't like him. You don't even get cooperation crapping up people's lives. Even if you take the romance out of it, you don't even fucking get cooperation. And don't again, listen, here, let me tell you something that makes me mad. Mr. Perry and I are not a couple. Mr. Perry's a stalker. He's rejected. There's not been a date ever. There's been no sex. There's been no hand holding. There's not been shit. He's a job. That's all he is. To me, just a job. And I'm really good at what I do. You know how you want me to show you? Everybody's seen it. It's not like nobody's seen it. There's this. See? All this whole page about how many times Mr. Perry's committed perjury, fraud upon a court, obstructed justice, murder in the first, attempted murder in the first. And this whole thing here, I hope the rent-a-cop that you guys hired to give me shit is looking. I'm more of a cop than you'll ever be. Look at this. Did you not pass the psych eval? I mean, there are some. Here's the thing, though. You have to be careful because there are some guys who are real PD, like Tulsa police, and they have a side gig of rent-a-cop. So that's the other thing. I mean, who am I talking to here? The guy I talked to today was no question psychotic. I mean, I thought he was on crack. I have not been treated like that in my entire life. And I was in jail. Even in jail, the corrections officers didn't treat me like this man did. And I was just going, I almost wanted to ask him, are you on crack? I mean, why would you say something like that to me? You're treating me like I've robbed a bank and I haven't done anything to you at all. In fact, I've not done anything illegal at all. I've not done anything even close to illegal. So why are you talking to me like this? Why are you, what's your deal? Dude, if you're one of Perry's guys and you're watching this, do you see this? This is what police work looks like, sir. I'm more of a cop than you are and that you'll ever be. Whether you're TPD and you're off and, you're doing your side gig, I don't care. I mean, you need to work on your attitude. That was something. I couldn't believe it. So, there's this. This is my work product. And there's the Mickey James text I'm talking about. And the, what's his name? Robertson text I'm talking about. And we're like, are they just stupid? Is he just hiring stupid hitmen? Or am I that good at what I do that I get people to say things, even in the text, that they didn't realize? We've heard that you guys tell people, you got to watch what you say around her. I mean, you make up one little slip up and she'll catch it. And that's not true. I mean, that's not wrong. It's true. I am very good at it. There's a reason they called me. So when I'm broke, they know it's not me. They know it's you. They're working with me now. They took, they sent me to Lubbock. We got a sex weirdo we need to catch. Yep. And you don't act like a dignitary. You act like a little bitch-ass girl. And I didn't even know what to say. How embarrassing. How fucking embarrassing. So, if you have dignity, you don't break the law peeping, you can get a real date. You don't need to do that. If you're worth a shit, women are attracted to men that are working and doing impressive something to talk about. Interesting. Right? So, I'm gonna, there's my work product right here. I'm very proud of it. No one's gotten this much evidence against you in your entire life. And you tell me, I can't stop. I can't stop giving you evidence against me. I can't stop giving you evidence against me. And some of that evidence, Mr. Perry, is showing consciousness of guilt. We got a reporter. If they didn't kill Chief Miller, she wouldn't be broke right now. Mike wouldn't be in jail. If they didn't do that. Because it was a car vandalism report 6 days before that murder. And the allegations were, or the report was, I have a stalker. It's possible this is a stalking incident. I'm not sure. I didn't see who did it. I didn't put a name on the report, Mr. Perry, did I? I remember Laura Collins, the maid, came walking over to see why the popo was over. And I'm talking to Officer Gibson, and I pointed to her, and I said, she found that same powder that's in my trunk in a room. You might want to ask her about it. And she said, nobody saw who did this. She said that. I said that. Everyone said. No one saw who did this. But that powder in her trunk was in this room over here. And I told Officer Neely, I took pictures. Look, here's the pictures. Showed him the pictures. She had already cleaned it up. And she started talking about who was staying in the room or whatever. I didn't even hear everything she said. But no name was on the report. Not a name. We don't know who did it. Possible it's stalking related. You know why I said that? Oh, it's common sense, frankly. Do you see the video connecting the dots? I can't play the whole thing because there's copyright shit that starts to cause a problem. So, but this is how law enforcement is to treat stalking victims. This is how they are to interact with stalking victims. This is how they're supposed to take a report and evidence. And they say, when you've got a car vandalism situation, you need to start asking the victim questions to determine maybe it's stalking related. That's called law enforcement. Good police work. Sherlock that bitch. Do it right or go home, by the way. Don't irritate the ones that do it right by doing half-ass or, corrupt shit. You guys that are corrupt mess everything up for the good guys. Do you know that? Do you know that that's a point of contention in law enforcement when you got some corrupt motherfuckers and then you got some Serpico or whatever trying to make sure it's just fucking do the job right. Do it right. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. So, Mr. Perry's proving me out, and a lot of recordings where he's told everybody who will listen, I'm going to starve her into a lie. She's going to live under a bridge until she tells me who these guys are helping her. I'll continue to hurt her. I'll continue to break the law until I force her against her will to do or say something she does not want to. Because I killed the chief of police and she figured it out. I got a sex weirdo problem and she figured it out. I got all kinds of illegal activity, criminal blah, blah, blah going, and she figured it out. So, me being fucktard like I am, low IQ and no impulse control, I'm gonna prove her right by doing things that a guilty guy would do. I could be dismissive and ignore what she says, or I could get Mike Neely home and then make sure she's not broke. She's a witness. We don't want a witness to be broke and it'll look like we're tampering with her. So we get him home. He has not a mark on him. Everybody sees that. Everybody knows that. So that would, he like he did a meth bust. Grab up somebody from that. So you guys can't even do that. We have to tell you how to do your crime right. Can't even do that right. When you guys have these guys text me, am I that good that I can get people that text me shit, incriminating shit, and not realize it? Am I that good? Or do you just hire the dumbest fucking, is it that you're hiring stupid or am I good? Which one is it? I'd like to know. I mean, it's rare, you get somebody I'm forgiving you, arsenic, let your life fade away. I can't promise the stalking will end without death and destruction. Texted it to me. Yeah, it might be worth a risk if he kills you, like Gary Condit did Chandra, or a lot of people think so. Anyway, there's that suspicion. It might be worth that suspicion for Mr. Perry to do that to you. He thinks I'm gonna call him. So, wow, that you texted. I'm like, wow, you texted me that. He said it verbally the night before, and I'm like, God, I got to get him to say that on the record. He wasn't in a place where I could record him. So I got to find a fucking way to get that out of him again. And so I texted to him something, and he texted it again, said it again in a text. And I'm like, wow, son of a gun. Either he's really stupid or I'm really good. I don't know. So in this right here, connecting the dots, that's what cops are supposed to do with a stalking case. Not, I'm going to try to not criticize TPD tonight, but not like what y'all did. The use of technology, they hack these days, stalkers will hack your phone and fuck up your life. I have 200 emails and texts I've never seen. Everybody's commented about these guys have this Facebook, and it's the only Facebook on the planet. There's no comments, there's no arguments. You'd think there'd be some arguments for Mike and against Mike, even for Charles and against Charles. There's nothing at all. That's a little fishy. Her Twitter, actually my business Twitter, Juicebox Weekly, they said you made it where people can't follow me. She can't get any more followers. He's that pathetic. That's just my business. That had nothing to do with you at all. That's just my blog, Juicebox Weekly. I did a blog on defunding police, by the way. Okay, so, or not defunding. I'm against it. So, anyways, there's the So my police report in Manfred had no name on it. I don't know who did it, but it might be stalking related. I've sued these guys who are stalking me. We're in court right now. They continue to try to impede court process. So, and like intimidate me, here's one of those things right here. Okay, so this was that. Sleep with him for 5. I'm going to solicit prostitution on behalf of dignitary Princess Prissy Pants Perry, and he wants to be a dignitary, but can't just get off his ass and go work. Get over it and act like a man his age and go and quit bothering me. I'm going to starve her into a lie. Ugh, I'm creepy. Then there's this. Okay, be creeped out by him for a couple hours, and take $5,000 and drop the whole lawsuit thing. He says something to that effect here. Look, there's the prostitution, pandering or whatever you call it. And then he asked me if I'm wearing a wire. About 3 times in here, asked me if I'm wearing a wire. I'm like, sure. In my G-string, I got a wire, but I did have a wire, just not where he could see it. Clearly, I recorded it. Here's the thing: you can listen to the whole conversation right here. You see, you can actually listen to it. You don't have to just read it. You can listen to it and read it at the same time, right? So, rent a cop, bitch. I mean, this is what I do. I'm just supposed to go to work, right?
Okay, but who told you I'm his girlfriend? But I'm not his girlfriend.
See, constantly got to clarify. I'm not in a romance with this guy. He's a stalker. That's all in his weirdo little head. It's not real. There's not been a date. There will never be a date. This guy's offering me $5,000. How about a date? No, not even for $5,000. I'm not going to do a date. Ew. Yuck. So, and then he says you could run him politically. He wants to be a dignitary. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care about that. I just want him to leave me alone. So I can't even go to fucking work without him making a mess and causing a problem. And everything's an ordeal and everything's a thing. And sometimes it costs me more to go than if I just stay home. Can you imagine having to live like that? This was at work. This was at my work. David Robertson came to my work. I'm just trying to work. These people are coming to where I am at my work, either by hack or by this. Oh, we're not doing that. What she says, sure. Okay. Anybody that believes you, I've got oceanfront property in Arizona for sale. Call me. You're dumb as ice. I mean, golly. So, okay, so on the guy that, so we're not a couple. There's no we. There's no us. Mr. Perry, you're whack job. If I liked you, you'll know it. So I'm going to talk a minute. I hope this doesn't make this guy uncomfortable, but please just don't let it make you uncomfortable, okay? Just don't, because it's not meant for that. Not meant for that. Everybody, okay, so we had, there's a guy that I know that works for Broken Arrow Police. His name is Bill something. I don't even know his last name. And he would come hang out sometimes. Everybody had a nice time. He was whatever. So, I mean, if that's the guy that you were asking, did you date, and you're grilling this man and everything, first of all, no, there's no dating between me and Broken Arrow Bill. But second of all, it's none of your business. Just like that. Just like that. Not your business who I date. We're not a couple. There's not a romance. We're all getting sick and tired of you shoving that bullshit delusion down everybody's throat until we're barfing on it. Stop telling people there's a romance there. There's not. Not for me. I don't like you. You're a job. I don't want anything to do with you. I moved twice to get away from you. There's not been a date. There will never be a date. I would never go out with a man who's cruel like you and abusive. There's no way. I come from 4 generations of police. I'm not going to go out with somebody that I know killed a cop. There's no way. Not going to happen. So don't you ever again tell anybody at all that there's any kind of romance between us. It doesn't go both ways. And so one of you guys needs to go get the special ed teacher and the little puppets and the crayons and the finger paints and explain to Mr. Perry what a romance looks like, what a relationship looks like. It's mutual. Both people got to want to be in it. That means the woman's not running away from you. Trying to, sue you off. That means she'll let you know she likes you. And if she doesn't let you know she likes you, she doesn't. Leave her alone. One little clue, she doesn't like you, and she's going to say, leave me the fuck alone. There's nothing there. I don't feel anything for you but deep disgust. Don't you fucking again tell anybody there's a romance there. There's nothing there. And who I date, it's none of your business. Don't even ask again. Boy, that made me mad. It didn't make me mad because this guy and I had a thing. We don't have a thing. We're just friends. He was right. That's not. But why is he getting asked that question to begin with? It's none of your business, nosy body Connie Curry. Act like a dignitary. If you want to be one, act like one. Act like fucking dignitary. Instead of some pathetic little old man reject who gets off on beating down women and kids. It's embarrassing, sir. Rent-a-cop guy. Listen, I'm more cop than you'll ever be. I would watch how you treat people, okay? You never know who you're talking to. That didn't set well with us. It didn't set well with us at all. Please, don't act like that again. That was not cool. That was, I'm like, wow. Wow, I didn't just rob a bank. I didn't even do anything illegal. I didn't do anything immoral. I didn't do anything wrong at all. What is your problem? And if you're TPD, I'd be really concerned about guys like that failed the fucking psych eval or the fucking police test, walking around dressed like you. Wouldn't you? Aren't you? I am. I'm not comfortable with it. I'd make some phone calls to some of these security companies and go, you need to have something that differentiates you from a cop. Some people can't tell, right, you need to be able to tell right away. This is a cop, or this is TPD, or this is rent-a-cop. I need to know that. I don't want to have to think, look, I'm looking at his uniform. I'm trying to look at, what is this guy? Am I talking to a cop? Am I talking to who am I talking to? And even if you're going to somebody for help, if you want to go to somebody for help, see you're a woman on the street, you're getting the shit beat out of you, and you run over to Quick Trip and grab you can tell their guys are rent-a-cop, or security guys, rent-a-cops. You can tell. At Quick Trip, right? So you run over there and you grab the first person that looks like they might be able to help you, right? So you grab the security guy, and then he's going to call 911, right? Or if you got a rent-a-cop guy and you think you're talking, I feel like it's very deceptive. I feel like it's unsafe deceptive. So if I'm TPD, I'd look into, have some conversations with security people, companies that have their employees dressing like you. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm just saying. So this is what I can do, Mr. Perry. It's not been done before with your crime. So you want to take my money, you want to starve me into a lie, and don't complain when we find out what you're doing. You wanted to have OHP follow me around today, I guess. Is that what y'all said? That's what we heard. TPD and BA, they can't get TPD and Broken Arrow to pull her over. So I guess we're going to have to get state law enforcement. It wasn't TPD's that was recorded. It wasn't Broken Arrow. It was you, Charles. You and Powell. And Robertson. I guess we'll get state law enforcement to pull her over. Because we keep getting caught. I've been saying they're trying to arrange a pullover. They're trying to arrange a pullover. They take my taillights out. They got in my car unlawfully. They gained entry to my vehicle unlawfully 2, 3, 4 times and popped out the lights to have me pulled over. Now they want state law enforcement to do it because they feel like TPD and Broken Arrow didn't pull it off. Duly noted for the record. Everybody hear me say that? It is the 25th of June. This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. Actually, it's 12:05, so technically it's Sunday, June 26, 2022. Mr. Perry and Mr. Powell and Robertson, those guys were talking this morning in a little meeting, and they were like, well, since we have called in the demand to Tulsa Police and Broken Arrow Police that they pull her over, and they won't do it, let's get Oklahoma State law enforcement to do it. We need her to lie, and she fucking won't lie. So we're using every intimidation method on the planet that we can come up with, which means I'm telling the truth, or you wouldn't act like that. You need to act like a dignitary, Charles, instead of a spoiled, rotten little brat just pissing everybody off. And you know how I found that out? Because you won't get out of my fucking wallet. My guys start digging when I'm broke. Okay? When you're a threat to me, my guys start digging. Fabian Puzzle, those guys. Not up to you, was it? McNamara email. Those guys that got that, they have the actual recordings, and you're not getting phone calls. You have leaks, we do not have leaks. Right? I can get information, you can't. I got that. We got that. You're making everybody mad. When you're in jail, you're gone. And we don't have to live like this anymore. It's over. Nightmare ends. You're gone. That's what everybody wants. Normal. Just fucking normal. And you're telling us I can't stop. Wow. When you're told on, sir, you're being stopped. When you're told on, that is you being stopped by law enforcement that doesn't want your money. They're not corrupt. They're sick and tired of this. They're trying as hard as they can to wrap this up, to put you in jail, and we don't have to deal with this again. The problems end when you're gone. They go with you. Your torment, your torture, your starvation of women and children, they go to jail with you. We don't have to deal with it again. It's over. I can go to work and not be harassed all the time by your people. I don't like taking orders that I have to go to a hospital. We know those are your people. Okay? So you want to keep fucking with me. Understand there's a police department or 2 or 3 or 5 that has the actual recordings. And you got people involved overseas because you broadcast us while you torment and torture and starve us all over the dark web, all over the world. We got 12 reporters helping us, some of them not in the United States. They hear every podcast I do. What I've asked you to do is to follow the law and get the fuck out of my life and never bother me or my family again. And your response is, I can't stop. And you want to be a dignitary? Wow. Again, somebody get him a special ed teacher with the finger paints and the puppets and the crayons. I don't know how to talk to somebody that's stupid. As many times as you've been caught, you think you have a choice. You think you have a choice. You perpetrate a fraud upon a court. You lie. You go in and commit perjury. You try to take my car. You have it wrecked 5 times in 3 years. You've tried to kill me. You want to starve me into a lie, which means I'm telling the truth, or you wouldn't need to go through all that trouble, would you? What I've asked you to do is get the fuck out of my life. Get out of it. As many times as you've been told on and caught, and we got all this that has been culminating for years, and you don't know what day are they gonna bang down your door and you go to jail and the problems and the drama goes with you, right? But this has happened to you never before. You've not been sued before. You've not had anyone figure out you have cameras in their home, and you're the cause of the problems, and you're the hacker until you did it to me. And you think you have a choice when I tell you, get the fuck out. And don't you contact me or my family or anyone I know ever again. Right? You want state law enforcement to pull me over because you think TPD and BAPD didn't get it done. To the point that you made unlawful entry to my vehicle last night, popped out the light, or had someone do it, and then hoped I wouldn't catch it. I did catch it. I changed it. That's happened twice in 30 days. Twice in 30 days. Once in Manford. They woke me up. My guys wake me up. Fabian Puzzle guys, wake me up. Get up. He just had your light taken out. He wants you pulled over. Go out and look. I go outside. That's not something you do. When you're going to leave, you get ready. You get ready. You leave. You go get in your car and you drive off, don't you? Do you check your lights when you leave? Nope. I was told specifically, get up and go check your lights. So I get up and I go check the lights. Sure enough, the light on the passenger side's out. Okay? Go over to Napa and fix it before you go anywhere, before you go to work tonight. He's going to have you pulled over. You know, the cops don't work for you, Charles. They're not your bitches. Why do you treat them like that? Why do you treat them like they're your bitch? Why? I thought you wanted to be a dignitary. Why are you treating taxpayer-funded government employees like they're your bitch. Don't do that ever again. Nobody owes you a lie. Nobody owes you a cover-up. And they don't work for you. They work for the people. And that's not your money to blow through. Fucking cut that the hell out. So if it's happening over and over and over, it's kind of like I said with 9/11. The first plane hits the tower. We don't know exactly what's happening. We don't know. Is it an accident? What happened? It happens again. Now we know it's terrorism. Now you've done this to me so many times. Now it's just harassment. Now it's terrorism. Now my guys can charge you. Whether locals do or not, it doesn't matter. My guys can charge you for doing that to me. Harassment of their witness, grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce, and I don't know what they do with the police. There's probably, he said there's about 5 things he can charge you every time you do that. And he can and he will. Okay? Every time I get something messed up with my Dasher app, same thing. One count each time you do something like that. So when you do this shit, please know you're going to pay for it. There are consequences. Legal shitstorm fixing to hit you. You're not a victim. I moved twice to get away from you. All you had to do is leave me alone. Nobody's picking a fight with you. No one's taking your tail light out. No one's wrecking your car. No one's calling the cops asking them to pull you over. There's an investigation going and they still don't do that. So what lie did you tell that you think you can get locals to pull me over? I don't do anything but go to work and come and try to get you off me. Literally, that's my life. Literally, that's my life. So, you got a lot of problems. You got a lot of explaining to do. And I'm going to tell you one last time. As many times as you've gotten caught and told on when you do this shit to me, what planet do you live on that you think you have a choice when I tell you, get the fuck out of my life? Do not make one more phone call to anybody trying to hurt me or my family or anyone I know. This morning we heard the little meeting. Get state law enforcement to pull her over. Has everybody written that down? Did I say it enough times yet? So if you do it, and I go, well, I did tell you so. I told you so. I told you. I said. They were recorded talking about it. I did say. So, why don't you get a life? And quit picking on women and kids because you're like weak. Are you weak? Too weak to pick on dudes? Go pick on dudes. Rent a cop. Watch and learn, man. You know, I mean, I know what the hell I'm doing. Did they send you to just like harass me or are you just an asshole? I mean, I don't know. Okay, so there's that. I'm done. Here's the disclaimer. Use allegedly. Apply the but-for and reasonable, prudent individual standard. But for Mr. Perry having a conversation with his partners, again, we got to have a police harasser for us. Again, we got to make sure we starve her into a lie. Because she's telling the truth, and I can't have that. It's inconvenient. But for that, I got to document the stalking, like the connecting the dots video tells you to do. Document, 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 document. Apply the reasonable, prudent individual standard. I assert all constitutional rights, including equal protection to due process, due diligence, Violence Against Women Act, Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513. Mike Neely, his deal isn't over. You heard of appeals, you heard of somebody else can come in and go, gosh, we got information here. You covered up. Right? So he needs to go home. I'm still a witness on that, bitch. You better back off. I'm asserting my right to equal protection against gender discrimination for that. Mr. Neely's wrongful conviction. Officer Neely's wrongful conviction. And if you didn't do that murder, I'm sure you'll start acting like you didn't do that murder. And stop with the witness tampering, right? Stop with the coercion, right? Go act like a dignitary. And stop being pathetic. Leave me alone. I also assert my right to the constitutional right to the First Amendment. I'm no different than the TikTok girl. I'm no different than Drew Carey, Polly Peretti, anybody who's talked about being stalked. So you're a selective prosecution. I'm going to pick on you because you know about my crime, and I don't like you talking about my crime. We can't have that. whatever. Fuck you. I mean, we're all tired of it, Charles. Listen, I don't care what you think. I'm sick of hearing it. We all are sick and tired of hearing what you think. And you need a lie, and you want to lie, blah, blah, blah. I want my privacy back. I want my privacy back in my phone and my computers in my house. I want my privacy, legal right to privacy. I want it back. Get your nose out of my bank accounts. Get your nose in your own business. Don't start asking who dated me and who what, blah, blah. None of your business. Not your business. We are not a couple. Doesn't concern you at all. Doesn't concern you at all. You're being nosy body Connie Curry. You two are a perfect couple. You want to be a couple with somebody, go with her. You two are the same. Butting into shit doesn't concern you. I don't like you. There's nothing there. There's not a romance there. I don't think you're hot and sexy. I think you're disgusting. I think you are pathetic, stupid, and disgusting. Okay? I don't want anything to do with you at all. I've said that every day for over a decade. So if you can't figure that out by now, that I really don't like you, that's why I moved twice. I went to a whole lot of trouble to get away from you and your drama and the conflict and all this stuff, the problems you cause. We don't want to deal with it, Charles. We don't want to deal with it. When you're in jail, we won't have to. That's why we did all this. That's why we put all this together. Right? So that my guys can make their arrest when they're ready, good and ready to. It's their discretion. They have that discretion, don't they? We can get information. You can't. We don't have leaks. You do. That means you're pissing people off. Nobody likes the cruel bitch. Right? Nobody likes you. It's not hard to get information. Like, let's get a little state law enforcement to pull her over. Let's get state law enforcement to pull her over, right? Can we do that? Can we call up there and have state law enforcement pull her over because TPD didn't get it done and Broken Arrow was supposed to do it and they didn't do it. Maybe we should have state law enforcement, Oklahoma, Highway Patrol. Let's get we got to get her pulled over. Over and over. Oh my God. Wow. No one's bothering you like that. You just picked a fight. So we got that because I'm broke and my guys are digging, and while they're digging, they found that. McNamara email, Fabian puzzle. No one else has that. No one else has that shit. Mike was drugged. I said it months before anybody else said it. No one else has that. And you guys are excellent in making yourselves look guilty. So, when I tell you, stop acting like we're a couple, we're not a couple. You look like a delusional whack job. You look pathetic and like a buffoon. Stop doing that. I'm not into you. I'm not into you. I can date whoever the fuck I want. So, stop doing that. Do not. It's almost like slander. It's almost like slander and defamation. I mean, golly. I mean, there's no way. Why would you say something like that? Ew. Yuck. Okay, everybody can see here, Mr. Perry. I'm not into you. If anybody wants to know, I mean, look at my conversation here with Pinto. I'm being offered money. Oh, and here's Dr. Russell. I tell her the same thing. How do I get across to this weirdo that I don't like him? He's causing trouble just to get attention because he can't get it any other way. She doesn't say, oh, Cynthia's got something wrong with her. She's misinterpreting, blah, blah. Nope. She said, yeah, he can't get attention unless he's making trouble. But guess what? When he's in jail, he can't make trouble anymore, can he? I get my privacy back, I will never be broke again. So it isn't hard for us to get information. Everybody's sick and tired of it. You're an imposition and a burden. And everybody would like you to please stop it.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me
all
alone.
you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Anything me since
Leave
you're
me
talking.
alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Stepdad's been raping me since
Leave
you were
me
talking.
alone!